Greetings YouTube and welcome to my updated mastery setup video. You can see champions that certainly have a very high PI. Now most of these on screen are 5 stars, but if I scroll down you can see that my 4 stars are still, especially the rank 5 SIG 99 ones, in the high 66 to 6700 PI. You can see Dr. Voodoo and Quake. Ghost Rider's got 6600, Blade almost 6600, Guillotine, Doc Ock, Archangel Rogue, Iron Man, Angela, the list goes on and on. So I'm never going to be somebody that pretends to be better at this game than I am. I am far from the best Alliance War player in the game. In fact, I despise Alliance War. Some of you watching this know that I'm still debating whether or not to create a Alliance Quest arena-only alliance that gives you the ability to use as many suicide masteries as you want to maximize that PI without having to worry about hurting yourself or your alliance in Alliance War. But regardless, I love the arena. Even after almost 3 years of this game, I play it every day because the arena really is the secret to success in the game, especially if you're a high schooler that has negative income. You grind the arena, and suddenly all of the resources you need come your way. Units, battle chips, gold, ISO, etc. The arena is the secret to success in this game, even though you will grind until you hate your life, and then you'll double the amount of grind time until you question your very own existence. That is the arena grinding mentality. So today I wanted to give you an updated list of my masteries, which I do believe is the best non-suicide mastery for the arena. And even though technically you can see on the right that Glass Cannon is maxed out, a lot of people do not consider that to be a true suicide mastery because you are not negating damage, especially with your specials. You're not doing any recoil damage, you're not having a poison tick that determines whether or not your champions are bleed or poison immune, or someone like Ghost that can shrug off that debuff in order to not lose that health. This is what I truly believe, after years of research, the best overall arena masteries that still allow you to do things like Alliance Quest and Alliance War without hurting your alliance. Because, make no mistake about it, the better you get at the game and the higher you go in alliance tiers, whether it be Gold 1 or Platinum and beyond, you're going to face alliances that are so smart and people who are so skilled at the game that if you cause this recoil damage where you lose a significant amount of health for each activation of a special, they're just going to sit back and wait for that power to gain and for them to cause significant recoil damage in order to win the fight, and they'll just make you make that mistake. And so you'll lose Alliance Wars because recoil will essentially kill the champions much faster than you have to worry about. That's why people always say, please do not use suicide masteries if you're coming into our alliance, because that recoil damage alone will hurt our chance of winning the Alliance War. But this video is not focused on Alliance War, thank God. It's focused on arena grinding and maximizing that PI. And I realize that there are some masteries in front of you that are essentially broken, meaning they don't do what they are advertised to do. I've been told that Pierce is one of those masteries that doesn't actually work, that you just need 1 out of 3 in Pierce in order to gain that additional 15% armor reduction of the opponent. But Pierce still gives you a crazy amount of PI for the arena, and I am about maximizing the PI of your champs that you're watching this. If you're somebody who's a free-to-play player especially, and you're looking for a mastery setup that will maximize your PI while not hurting you in Alliance War, boy, have you come to the right place. So you can see we are starting with just 1 on strength and 1 on greater strength. When I was a noob and didn't understand how masteries worked, I thought, hey, I should just maximize everything. Well, mastery points, even at level 60, are so limited. You do not want to do that. So there are just certain masteries, especially for PI or power index / player index, depending on who you ask, that you want to maximize for your player rating. Yes, Pierce is one of them, but oh my gosh, Precision and Cruelty are a guaranteed PI boost of maximum proportions that you want to unlock. If you're tempted to use units on Grandmaster featured crystals or even premium disappointment crystals, do not exercise that temptation. masteries are the single best thing you can use your units on, because once they are unlocked, you can use them forever. Whereas most of the time you're going to get disappointing crystal openings and you're just going to have instant buyer's remorse. The other thing, Glass Cannon. I cannot tell you how much this mastery has helped me. When you get really good at the game, and again, I'm not saying I'm super amazing, but I'm certainly better than above average, I would say. Glass Cannon is a lifesaver, because if you're really good with parry and dexterity, you're not going to take much health damage regardless of whether or not you're on Labyrinth of Legends or the monthly Master Quest. So because of that, you're not going to worry about taking damage because you're not going to get hit. But you are going to maximize, and you're going to want to maximize the attack damage that you cause, and that 7.2% difference is so crazy significant once that's at 3 out of 3. Now, speaking of crazy significant, Deep Wounds, still my favorite mastery. So many god tier champs like Blade and even Ghost Rider cause crazy bleed, Archangel, you name it. You're going to want to max out these champions with 5 out of 5 on Deep Wounds. And once you've done that, you've got the units to spare, especially when you're in something like Labyrinth of Legends or even bosses in Alliance War and Alliance Quest that have a crazy amount of health. Once you get, and you'll see if enemies start to fight below 18% when it's maxed out, your champions also gain 30% offensive ability accuracy. This will cause you, along with the 60% attack and decrease enemies' defense ability accuracy, to end your fight so much quicker when the enemy gets down below 18% health. I cannot tell you how many units and potions and revives I have saved, especially in those longer, tougher fights in Alliance Quest and Alliance War bosses from maxing out Assassin. Put this on your to-do list, especially if you're starting out. Maybe it won't take a couple years, but hopefully you'll still stick with the game. Now, the defensive tree is by far the smallest amount of mastery points. You'll see I only have 12 in it. And I have maximized Salve and Recovery. Now, I've been told Salve is another one of those masteries that doesn't work. If you care only about attack and you're doing like a Labyrinth run or certainly like a main questing run, you're probably not going to want to adopt this mastery. But crazy high PI from maxing those out. The only one that I will say that you don't need to max out for crazy high PI, but it still really helps with questing, and I have it at 4 out of 4, is Block Proficiency. Because I love not taking damage when I block, especially because the parry mastery, which you will see in a second, is also maxed out. So I want to maximize the ability to not take damage when I block, and parrying is my strategy for maximizing the lack of damage that you take when you block. So let's get right to that. You will also notice that I have not had anything close to the needed 15 points in defense to rank up willpower. It used to be something I loved, but then they nerfed willpower a while back. And besides that, you should have those points on something like Deep Wounds or certainly Assassin versus willpower. It's just a waste of an extra 3 defensive mastery points just to unlock it. Now, utility. In a perfect world, I would also have Petrify and Pacify at 3 out of 3, but the perfect world is not the world that we live in. And you'll notice that I have almost maximized Mystic Dispersion, a mastery that even after the beta test is still so crucial to Mystic Champion's advantage in the game. I could unlock the 5 out of 5, but I've held on 4 to 5, and so far I've really enjoyed it. That's all I need for Alliance Quest attack when I face champions like Groot, where I bring in my magic and just wait for his buffs to expire, and then bring up that special 3 and then use the remaining buffs as a conversion of damage. Now you'll notice, Dexterity. You want to activate this as quickly as possible, but you only need 1 out of 3 points on it to have it be really effective. You can save those other 2 points, because I've seen some people maximize Dexterity. They'll send me a message on the Line app and they'll say, what do I need to do to change? And I'll say, take the 2 out of 3 points you have in Dexterity and move them to a better place like Assassin or Deep Wounds. But parry is needed 3 out of 3. Some people will argue me with this, but personally, this is not the greatest PI build for the arena, but it will save you. Again, this is the best overall mastery for both the arena and for questing. That's why I'm making this video. And when you reduce the damage by 25% and you increase the stun by 2 seconds, that is such a perfect world to be in to turn a defensive strategy into an offensive counter attack. You also want to, again, awaken Petrify and Pacify and I have maxed out Stupefy. Another thing a lot of people will recommend, especially when you double that with parry, because you will inflict stun that lasts 0.5 additional seconds. That might not sound like a lot, but when you are going up against champs, especially with something like a Limber node that decreases the stun duration, you're going to want to increase the chance to keep them stunned as long as possible to go on the counterattack. I used to believe, and some people would still argue, and they have a pretty good argument, that you need to throw more points into Limber. Certainly, if you're fighting champs like a Storm or a Thor to have a crazy long stun on Special 3, but chances are you're going to be wrecked regardless when you get to that Special 3, so you just want to make sure to bait the Special 2, if not the Special 1, of those specific champions that cause such a long stun duration with their Special 3, that you're pretty much screwed regardless of how many points you have in Limber. So, if you want a mastery build that helps you in Alliance Quest and Alliance War, but mainly is focused on the PI rating of your champs in the arena, I believe I have just shown you it. If you don't care about the arena, if you love to spend money and you don't want to worry about the arena, this is not the mastery setup for you, and I completely understand that. But for those of you like me, especially you free-to-play players out there that have no disposable income and all you do to rely on deals is to buy those unit-based deals, which you can grind in the arena and save up those units and battle chips in order to maximize your chance to get 5-star shards or tier 2 alphas or whatever, this is the arena built for you. Comment below and let me know, most importantly, if you're starting out in this game and you have nothing close to 60 plus points to throw in your masteries, just bookmark this video. I have made it for you, not just for today, but for the months and years to come that hopefully you commit to this game so you can return to it and continue to maximize your chance to get the highest PI, because the higher your PI is in the arena, the more points you get, and the more points you get, the less fights you have to do, and the less fights you have to do, the less time you have to spend away from the real world grinding in a mobile video game, and that is a win for everyone. Thanks for watching this new mastery setup video. I hope this helps you, especially if you're grinding in the arena. Good luck in all your future contests in the game.